Hey guys, this is Flashbacks. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by.
Brady, who was totally not almost an hour late for this because of technical problems.
Hey man, it happens. But we're here today to review The Flash of Two Worlds, but not the episode, the actual comic that title was based off of.
Oh, you have a physical copy of it?
Yeah, I have the facsimile edition. There's
Oh,
some old retro ads in here, stuff like this.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's pretty
I read
cool.
it on DC Universe.
Yeah, there's like one right here. It's like record your voice at home is like one of these two. Like it's like just
Oh,
all these like height of technology right here. But yeah,
yeah,
cool. So we're gonna go ahead and get into Flash of Two Worlds. So the start of this, like the Silver Age was a very silly time. So just first off, but the start of this is really silly. Jay saying to what looks to be a very annoyed Barry, how could he be the Flash when he's been the Flash for 20 years? Like in the whole like the fingers pointing and everything. I think we talked about this off air with like the who's the Flash? This one lives in Keystone, this one lives in Central City. Like it's silly
yeah.
stuff.
And we'll probably talk about this later. I'll go into more detail with it, but the Keystone thing floored me because we talked about this in an earlier episode. I thought that was Wally West City. I haven't read the Jay Garrick stuff, so I had no idea that was his town.
Yeah, it's weird. And it gets weirder. We'll definitely get into like a certain part. Not to tease it too much, but well, there's definitely two parts that kind of floored me, like to borrow what you said. But so we open up. Barry is late to meet Iris at Central City Community Center, where she's the chair lady of the Picture News Orphan Group, which some sort of event for them. I like that she works at CC Picture News, like in the show. Like I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cool that this has been a
I don't
thing.
remember them using the name Central City Picture News though, but I could have just been not paying attention.
I think in the like I know definitely in the later stuff it's more of a kind of thing, but I know that I think in the first season they probably just don't like lean into it as much, but like I
Well,
definitely remember it.
I'm not talking about the show. I'm talking about the comics because I know for sure in the show it's called Central City Picture News. I think in this it's just called Central Citizen.
Let me actually check because I have
I
the
could be
physical in
wrong
front
though.
of me just to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip to the end because I know we definitely would see
We'll
the
go to
thing at the
the
end.
part where he travels to Earth too, because I think the first thing he looks at is the newspaper stand.
Yeah, he tries to visit Iris's actual like workplace when he goes to the place at first. Let me yeah, because he says let me see. Yeah, he wants to find out what happened. And then he's like the Keystone City Herald, and let me actually look because I know that I think he mentions it. Let me actually.
I'm
It's
pretty
cool.
sure he did.
I want to just find it because I assume just because it was like the Central City picture, like it said picture news in
Yeah,
the thing. Yeah, let me actually double check. But let's see. Yeah, because he kind of belittles
probably
it
gonna edit
too.
this out.
No, no, it's fine. He kind
Yeah.
of like belittles it too. I don't know
Okay.
if you noticed that. Yeah, yeah, picture news. It says the picture news orphanage. So he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily say Central City, but like he does say
Okay.
like picture news. That's what it was. But yeah, he kind of belittles it though too. It's like one of her little
Okay,
like
so I just wasn't paying attention.
yeah, he's like one of her little projects or
Yeah.
something. He kind of talks down about it too. It's like
Yeah.
it's like all you women and stuff.
The
I was like, oh
epitome of
Lord.
Yeah, I was gonna say the epitome of the 1960s where it's ew, woman
Yeah.
actually doing something.
Yeah, it's like all you and your little projects. But I think he calls it a project. I'm like, Jesus, Barry. But
Yeah,
so he
just more examples of Barry being an asshole.
yeah. But so he goes in there and walks into her angrily talking to herself about someone being late. He assumes it's him, but it's actually the magician she hired. Barry offers to get the Flash to stand in the absence of the like basically stand in for the magician, and has a comical moment where he runs off to change into him. And we talked about this off air, and this is a quote. I told Iris Flash had been at police headquarters, which was true enough since I am the Flash and he'd be right over, which is also true. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Dude, this dialogue, man. I was reading part of this at work and I'm just like, "Oh my God, how did comics exist in the 60s with this type of writing? How did Marvel pop off?"
Right. And like the thing is, I include a note too, and there's a documentary. It's called Comic Book Superheroes Unmasked, where Stan Lee talks about what who comic books were meant for, and he says like basically like illiterate, like basically kids or illiterate adults, and like I can see it with this because they over explain things so much in here. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I'm this person and I'm here because I'm
Yeah, exactly. Flash performs a bunch of different feats for the kids, the last of which is climbing up a rope, then making the rope disappear. But he does it too quickly and phases in to like or space warps as he puts it into a parallel Earth. It's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, I didn't know they had vibration as a part of Barry's character that early on. I thought that was
Me
a way later addition.
me either, because this is well, it's like issue 123, so this is actually kind of like later on in the series, like surprisingly. Like I thought it happened earlier.
True, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was still part
interesting.
of the original run, but I thought they added it like once Wally became Flash, because Barry takes a lot of stuff from Wally,
Yeah.
including his girlfriend in the TV show. But
Yep.
yeah, he takes a lot from Wally, so I just assumed the vibration was from.
Yeah. So he at first thinks it's Central City. He tries to find familiar landmarks. He thinks he might have time traveled back. He finds the community building, but it's abandoned, then goes and looks for Iris at CC, or just Picture News, and then sees the Keystone City Herald. He's worried he might be in a different time, but realizes it's the same year, which he learns from a newspaper and has a really funny run-in with the newspaper vendor where he ask where Keystone City is. I just picture this guy with like a New York accent, where it's just like, who are you kidding? It's right
Like, what the
here.
hell you doing in that weird?
Yeah,
Yeah, what the
he's
hell
like,
you doing in that weird costume?
now you answer my question. What are you doing in that getup? Like, it's just funny. Like, I like how he phrased that.
Yeah,
Like you answer my
dude.
question now, weird costume man. Great stuff.
Yeah, writing around this time in comics was so funny. Like I've got the Batman Chronicles, which is like the first 7, 8 appearances of Batman. Oh
Hmm.
my God, dude, some of the dialogue in that book is just egregious.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about, but so Barry runs off and mentions that he used to live here. He looks up Jay in a phone book and finds his address and meets him out of costume. He remarks on him being older, which is interesting. Barry mentions to Jay and his wife Joan that he knows his origin, explains who he is and how they occupy the same space but are at two different vibrational frequency, then recaps his origin to them. That- I know back when the Flash movie came out, I had a problem with the multiverse stuff. I know that that's something that's like been brought up a lot, but like I'll give it this a pass. It's the Silver Age. And Jay kind of takes all this in stride. Basically, he's just like he's kind of questioning it a little bit, but like a lot of this stuff, he's just like, "Oh yeah, come in, complete
Yeah.
stranger." It's a different time.
But I know this is one of the first comic books to actually do the multiverse,
Hmm.
because from what I know, that wasn't really a thing up until this point.
Yeah, they this next part is the a bit of the weirdness that we're gonna get into. He mentions
Yeah,
being
like
in
the meta stuff.
Yeah, he mentions it being inspired by the Flash comics and reading about Jay to take on the mantle of the Flash. Jay asks how did he read about him, and in a really meta fourth wall breaking moment, he tells him he was well known in his world as a fictional character and that a writer named Gardner Fox, who is the writer of this comic, he said Fox claimed the ideas came to him in a dream. Like it gets weirder at the very end, and I guess we can kind of like it's one of those I describe it as like almost Grant Morrison-y where it's just like what are
Yeah.
we doing here? Like you're complicating it too much. Like I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's just like that would blow, you know what I mean? Because it alternates between over explaining
Yeah.
things and then having like this stuff where I'm like, okay, so you're gonna like blow a kid's mind with this if you assume children are reading this.
Yeah, like I was telling Alex before we started this, I didn't finish the book, but I guarantee you, I know Grant Morrison writing. Oh, if it's like Morrison style, there's probably some weird shit that happened at the end of this.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Barry says it's obvious he tuned into Jay's Earth in his sleep and created it, and also mentions the comic was discontinued in 1949. Jay says that's bizarre because or Jay comments that that's the year he retired. What a bizarre
Not
scene.
comic, magazine.
Oh yeah, yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Even back
They
then
they
they
don't even
were.
call it, yeah. Yeah, they call it a magazine.
Yeah, well, I could see it like this. Like they were probably bigger back then. Also, there's unrelated. There's like Tootsie Roll ads in here, and there's like one particular one where it says that Napoleon apparently used to like have one or something like that. Like it's one. Oh yeah, here it is.
What the hell?
Yeah, Tootsie Roll makes history. The general who passed with one hand in his vest was Napoleon Bonaparte, and he really was holding a Tootsie Roll, which he always kept close to his heart.
What in the hell?
It's amazing.
If you're only listening to this, I beg of you, watch the video version. Oh my God, what the hell did I just see?
It's amazing. Like
And read for that matter.
they have like maybe we'll if we have some extra time like or I might include it as like I don't know. Like there's also like flash grams in here which are like letters from people. One of them I didn't read the rest of it, but like some of their responses back are kind of funny too. Yeah, it's just like it's kind of interesting seeing some of that
Yeah,
stuff.
and back on the magazine title real quick.
Yeah.
Could they have also said that because the Comics Code Authority was around at this point and Dr. Frederick fucking whatever his name was
Yeah.
being an asshole and trying to get his fingers into stuff?
Probably. I know that also maybe at the time because it was like paired with a bunch of other magazines, maybe they called it magazines because it was, you know,
Yeah,
paired with a bunch of different magazines and stuff like that.
yeah, that could also be.
Yeah. A small detail I like in this is that Jay's impressed by the flash ring since he puts his suit on normally and hides it under his clothes. I thought that was kind of like
Real,
fun.
real Superman number.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Jay mentions it's odd he appears now because he was considering coming out of retirement. He mentions some odd robberies. So here we get kind of like what the plot of this is or what they're going to be doing. So, one's a bank where money flew from the teller's drawers and vanished. Another at a jewel salon where things went pitch black, and when the darkness subsided, the jewels were gone. And the last one where eerie music was heard then an armored car basically hit a like ran to a wall and they awoke and like the guards woke up and found out that they'd been ransacked. They agree to team up to stop whoever's doing this. Comics back in the day used to be divided into chapters. Like even the old I know maybe you've read the old Spider-Man stuff from the 60s where they had the chapters. They used to have like chapter
Nope.
breaks. It's interesting from a pacing standpoint because like they'll
Yeah,
go from like this one has three chapters. Maybe they were trying to replicate like books or something like that. Like I don't know.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've only read the Ultimate stuff in the way of Spider-Man. I might have checked out like one issue of amazing, but my main squeeze has always been Ultimate.
I hear you. So the second chapter, we meet the culprits at their lair. The Thinker, who uses a metal thinking cap to cause anything he thinks of to happen within 50 yards. So a tech-assisted telepath with limited range. That's weird. The Fiddler, who uses his
This dude, these
Stradivarius.
villains are so funny.
Yeah. Who uses a Stradivarius violin to control things or people, and the Shade who uses his cane to create darkness. Compared to all the other ones, like the other ones have kind of like interesting stuff. The Shade literally is just like I just make like it really dark and then I just take stuff basically. But he's
Yeah,
stayed around
they
longer.
use him in a lot of modern stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
they use him in a lot of modern stuff too. He's in Young Justice and Justice League.
I remember the Justice League one definitely. There's also
Yeah, I think Young Justice he's in season 3.
did you see the episode of it was like the first season of Justice League where they have that guy who plays like the violin and everything? Like it's if they go to another Earth and it has like kind of Justice Society like characters on it and one of the guys is like robbing
Oh
from a bank.
yes.
It's kind of like this, isn't it? Like a little bit with the
Yeah,
fiddler.
I have seen that episode.
Yeah, the
Yeah, which that's
Stradivarius
a
too.
fucking weird name by the way.
The fiddler.
Yeah, the fiddler just sounds like that one guy on your block whose house you don't want to go near.
It's
He's
not the
gonna do some
diddler,
shit
man.
to
Come
you.
on.
Well, it
I
still
thought it
sounds
too.
like he's gonna diddle you.
I was like, that's kind of weird. Like we wouldn't do that kind of thing today. But
They reference him in Batman the Audio Adventures of all things. I've been listening to that recently, and they call up some guy named Mr. Fiddler. I was like, what? Who? What? Why are you calling up a Flash villain?
that show fucking would. But the Thinker is after the Neptune Cup, which resides in a mansion owned by Edward Jarvis. The Fiddler wants the European crown jewels from the Keystone Museum. And the Shade is off to a boat where they're holding a collection of historical curios, which are worth millions. Is that just like jewelry or something? I didn't bother looking that
I
up.
think so. Yeah,
Okay.
my mom has something called a curio cabinet, and it's just Neptune's cup, of a piss jar from Batman versus Superman.
Wait, what? What? Like rewind it. It kind of broke up there. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. The Neptune's cup or whatever thing you just said
Hmm.
reminds me of like Aquaman's version of a piss jar from Batman versus Superman. Like instead of saying like Granny's peach tea or whatever the hell it says, it
Oh
just
yeah,
says
that's bizarre.
Neptune's cup and it's Aquaman's. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah. So like the two flashes split up. You still good on your end? Yeah, cool. The Thinker goes to the
Yeah.
mansion and tells the dogs to tell the Jay's Flash that basically what happens when he appears. He projects an image of him so they know what he looks like, I guess. That this is bizarre whenever he does show up. The Flash appears and the dogs actually speak and tell
What
him
the hell?
what's happening. To be fair, he's as weirded out by it as I am. Like that was a bizarre scene. He's like, these dogs are talking and they're telling me where
What
he
the
is.
fuck?
It's like they could have just had guards
I
there.
kind of regret I didn't finish this book now.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it gets weirder. Just wait. But he runs in and basically tries to grab the
Oh
Thinker, but
God.
he keeps vanishing and reappearing at other ends of the room. We find out it's a projection by him, and he announces this before leaving. Before the Flash can grab him, he tries to vibrate through the door, but blacks out from exhaustion. Basically, he kind of runs into the door. Um, Barry Flash sees darkness over a boat and runs out to investigate. Um, Here we go. Shade grabs the curios and is on a small getaway boat. Barry actually runs in circles, making a tornado out of the darkness, which is cool. That was cool. He actually did his signature move from the show, but it was like he made it out of like the shade,
Yeah.
basically. So it was a cool visual. Um, So
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Yeah, I wish they would have used shade in the show
I wish so too.
so that we could have got that.
It would have been easy too. Like that's not a hard effect to do. It's just like at the most you just make it really dark and then like, add like I don't know, like it'd
Yeah,
be easy for them to pull off with a limited budget. I'm kind of surprised they never did, unless I'm forgetting about something. But
yeah.
so he
Season
tried,
4.
yeah, maybe. He tries to run after him, but the shade mixes oil with the darkness, making it slippery like the water. Shade gets away. Like I don't know how he does that, but he does.
Fuck?
The Silver Age,
What the fuck?
everybody.
That's so. Oh my. Dude, I love and hate the Silver Age at the same. Well, not hate, but I love the Silver Age because of how goofy it is, but also some of the stories in the Silver Age are actually kind of good.
Right. Um, like me too. Yeah, like it's like I think my favorite Silver Age story is probably the Rainbow Batman one. Like that one I really
Yeah,
like.
I
It's a
love that one.
solid one. Yeah, that one's a great one. But so like you try to stop the filler. I mean, you actually lost my place. Oh yeah, Barry returns to Jay's place to see the same thing happen to him, and they agree to go and stop the fiddler. Chapter 3 opens with the fiddler driving a fiddle car, like it's literally what they call it, a fiddle car, and causing massive
I'm
property
surprised it's
damage.
not.
Go ahead.
Surprised it's not the Fiddlemobile
That's
or the
actually
the
better.
Fiddler Express or something.
Yeah, the Fiddlemobile actually is
True.
better than the fiddle car. He's causing
Fiddle
massive
car.
property damage and chaos with his violin. And so out of all of the places I thought the iconic image would come from, it's actually this. We get the iconic image from the
Yeah.
front cover where Jay and Barry save a construction site worker who sprained his ankle from a falling, like as a falling girder like falls towards him. Jay grabs him and Barry makes it go where it originally was before it fell using an updraft. It's so
What
great.
the feck? That wouldn't secure it down though, Barry. That would just temporarily put it back where it is until it falls again.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care about this. It's not really my world.
Yeah, I love how they recreate that cover though for one
Yeah.
of the posters for the next episode of the actual show we're gonna talk about. They recreate the image
Well,
for
it's
a
in the
promo
scene.
poster.
It's actually the scene too. Like it's in the episode. Like that image is actually
Is it?
like yeah, there's that scene in there where they're
Oh,
both like they're walking towards her, but still like it's like they recreate that same framing and everything.
oh,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I remember seeing that and being like, "Oh my God." But so anyway, they find him at the fiddler at nearby museum, but we cut away from the away to the thinker and Shade realizing there are two flashes and they run to help Fiddler. I like that one was like he was younger with a different look, and the other one also says no, he wasn't. He was older and he looked the same. Like it's the same. They're both arguing. It's pretty funny.
I mean, technically they're both right.
Yeah, definitely. To the villain's surprise, Fiddler has used like so they rush over to help him. But to the villain's surprise, Fiddler has used the music to make them steal the jewels, the two flashes, for him, and he makes them grab they start grabbing the smaller ones, and he says to get the larger ones. He says he's going to freeze them for 24 hours so they can escape, but they take him out. Jay sends Shade into a whirlwind. Barry puts the fiddler's hands through the violin to cuff him, and they both dismantle Thinker's cap and book them at the police station. How they accomplish this, they put the small jewels in their ears so they didn't hear the fiddler's music or it distorted it. It's so funny.
Not how I expected that at all.
I
Oh
read
my
it and I
God,
was just
I
like, you know what?
kind of
Sure.
wish I had time to read this whole thing.
Yeah, I read it and I was just like, you
Yeah,
know what? At
that
this
would have
point, I
probably.
was like, sure. So funny, man.
Whereas I'm there the whole time being like, yeah, we get it. You're this person. You're the fiddler. You escaped from jail and now you're gonna kill the Flash.
Yeah. It's so funny though because it's almost better that you didn't read the later parts so you can get like your honest just like reaction to some of this wild
Yeah,
stuff that
the
happened in the
fresh
issue. Yeah, it's kind
the
of like
fresh laughing.
definitely. So the two Flashes bid each other farewell as they stand where Barry had arrived. He hopes Jay visits him. Jay says he might, and also says he'll go on being the Flash now that he's out of retirement. Jay remarks as Barry vibrates away that he'll have to remember how he did that so he can visit him one day, which I thought this was kind of nice. So Barry returns to an empty community center and runs to give Iris a half-hearted explanation at Picture News. He'll only tell her he took off on a most unusual case. She mentions she's sure her readers would love to know what happened. He says if he told her, he thinks it's basically they think it'd be pure fiction. And then Barry literally looks at the audience and breaks the fourth wall as he looks at us and says the only ones who'd really believe it were the readers of Flash comics and mentions he's going to look up Gardner Fox, who wrote the original Flash stories, and recount it to him so he can write it up in a comic book.
That's fucking great. I love that. I love that. That's so goofy.
It's so dumb. Oh yeah, here it is. Like so you
Silver
can
Age
actually
Flash book.
there it is right there. You can actually see it.
Oh,
Like I said, he's so pleased with himself. Like he's just like he's looking at the
ah.
reader. Great
Who
stuff.
did I want to know who did you hear in your head when you were reading this for the voices of Barry and Jay?
I
Because I heard Ed Asner.
Ed Asner he said.
Yeah, because he's the voice of Jay in Young Justice, and then Neil Patrick Harris because he's the voice of Barry in The New Frontier, which is like a throwback to all the 40s, 50s, and 60s comics.
I kind of like in my head, I kind of read it like you know those old like DC like not specific voice, but those old DC like radio dramas and stuff where they would like
Yeah,
dramatize stuff where like the voices are kind of corny and everything. Maybe that kind
yeah.
of like
Like they're
Super
all
Friends
talking like this all the time.
or maybe that kind of Super Friends vibe. Like I kind of gave them
Yeah,
those kind of voices for that where it's just kind of like because this story is not serious at all. So I just kind of
yeah,
like
no.
pictured that with like the old timey like maybe like the old timey music that they would have at the time, like just very like almost Fleischer-esque music maybe or something like
Yeah.
that.
See, and I don't know much about that. Like, I haven't really seen Super Friends. Maybe I've seen like one episode. My old thing is Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin from the new Scooby-Doo movies.
I reviewed that back in the day on my old
You did. I need to find this.
it was one of those things where like I you ever see the Nostalgia Critic before? I kind of got
Yeah.
inspiration from that a little bit. It's not how I'd review it now, but you know.
A bat credit card. I love the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah, me too. I have one of his
Love that
DVDs
guy.
up here somewhere, but
Oh
yeah.
shit, he made DVDs?
Yeah, it was like it had to be stuff that was public domain that he reviewed though. So
Yeah.
it's like one of those. I have like his one of his event movies too, like the To Boldly Flee. I used to be like a big fan. But yeah. So this book with apparently you can get 204 Revolutionary War stories for only a buck 98.
That's a hell of a deal.
There was like that was the thing is like I really do think that like before we get into our final thoughts, reading it like this and like this old facsimile edition really helped like it charmed me a lot. Like it felt like I was like reading
Yeah.
it like it was originally meant to be seen kind of thing with these
Yeah,
old
that's
ads.
cool. Because I wish DC Universe would put those ads on there, but they're not going to because they don't have like the sponsorships from those companies anymore.
Well, Marvel does the on their app. They do the facsimile editions where they'll have all the old like ads
Oh,
and stuff. Yeah, that DC just doesn't do it. But see, you can get Be my guest at Palisades Amusement Park, New Jersey. This coupon entitles you to free admission plus two rides, acts and parking from Superman.
Worth 65 cents, apparently.
Yeah, it's a bargain, but yeah.
My God.
I guess like we could go ahead and get into like the whole like it was already weird enough, and then I feel like the writer was probably having a bit of fun with the whole like I'll go tell him this story,
Yeah.
so I have something to write it up. Like I'm
Yeah.
like you're kind of breaking the world, but I understand like it's the first of its kind to do this, so you're kind of you don't
Yeah.
really know like what the rules are yet. You're kind of making it up as you go, kind of thing is the vibe I get here.
It's not canon anymore anyway. Crisis happened, what, 30, 20 years ago at this point? 20, 30
Yeah,
years ago?
exactly.
God,
Yes.
am I seriously as old as Crisis on Infinite Earths?
uh, you're like you'd be younger than it because it was like you talking about the 80s?
Yeah, I was born after the 80s, dog.
No, no, you're saying I thought you were saying that you were like as old as it, basically.
No, I was questioning for a second if I was, but then I realized, yeah, no, that was the fucking 80s.
Yeah, it's like you're not an elder millennial,
No.
but yeah, so like I really liked this. It's definitely like it's a piece of history, so it was really cool to read. And I'm sure like another reason we covered this is one, the next episode. It has nothing to do with this, like it was just the image, but we thought it'd be fun. Maybe a lot of people haven't read
Yeah,
this. I know before this I
yeah.
hadn't, but
I hadn't either.
want to do heart, humor, and spectacle for this, and then we'll give it like a star
Sure.
rating. I got some ideas I can start
Sure.
if you'd like.
Sure, yeah, go ahead, because I've got nothing.
All right, so for my heart, I would probably say just the stuff with Jay and Barry, just seeing like him, because like Barry has some like hero worship stuff in this. It kind of reminded me of Batman the
Yeah.
Animated Series with the Gray Ghost stuff. Like it was kind of those
Yeah.
vibes
Oh,
too.
I gotta go watch that episode now.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And then for my spectacle, it would obviously be this image right here, even though the
I mean, yeah.
context is very silly, like this is iconic and like they still reference
Yeah.
this to this day. And just like the whole like them being on like a him being on a different Earth. And then for the humor, it's hard, man. There's so many
The
funny
whole
parts.
goddamn book.
That irate thing. It's like I got a question for you. Like, what's up with that get up? Like that made
What's
me.
up with your silly get-up?
Yeah, what's up, you little flash man over here? But yeah,
I thought you were gonna say you little fucker for some
yeah.
reason. I
Hey,
was like, whoa.
you little fucking flash man over here. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. You gonna buy a newspaper? Get out of here. But yeah, you want to
This
go
is
to,
just devolved.
yeah, we're off the rails. You want to go ahead and do
Oh,
yours?
yeah, okay. So my points are pretty much all the same as yours. Like heart, because there's not really a lot of deep character dynamics in the book.
Nope.
It's the Barry and Jay stuff. The spectacle is that cover, the I'm coming, and they're like both running at the same time.
Pause.
And then humor. Oh my God, I didn't mean it like that, bro. Come on, man. You get your mind out of the gutter, you bastard. The humor for me, honestly, from what you described, might just be the whole damn book.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like that and then also like the well clearly he clearly dreamed this up and tapped into like another world. Like I love how he says it. Like it's like of
He
course
clearly
everyone
dreamed.
thinks this.
Yeah, he clearly dreamed Earth 2
Yeah.
somehow.
I'd love to hear because I know back when and like we sometimes mention superhero stuff you should know. I was re-listening to old episodes of when they covered the Flash movie and they mentioned me in there.
Yeah.
They were talking about the multiverse stuff. I would love to hear Andrew's take on this because he was talking about the multiverse a lot. I'm like, what do you think of this, man? Like
Dude,
explain this to me.
funnily enough, when I read the section with all of the villains, all of them, I heard like his Indeed wizard voice in my head. Like that was just a voice I gave all of them. Fiddler, the Thinker, and the other one, and Shade. I gave all of them the Indeed wizard voice for some reason.
The
It just fit.
The Thinker actually is in a later, I'm sure you know this, in a later season of The Flash, but
I saw
Barry,
like 2 episodes of that season.
yeah, he has the little that the thinking cap thing. He actually has that in there, but it's like
Oh, nice.
it's like a it kind of looks like what's it called? The Borg.
Brainiac?
Or, no, it looks like the Borg kind of like he kind of looks like from Star Trek,
What?
like
Oh, I don't know Star Trek.
oh, it's okay. But he kind of has that kind of vibe to him. But yeah, it was interesting, definitely. So I guess for me, if I was gonna rate it out of like lightning bolts, this is iconic. It's kind of hard to like will it down, but I'm gonna say just for like I'm gonna be nice and say since it's a classic and since it was so formative, why not just go ahead and give it 5 out of 5 lightning bolts?
Yeah,
Like it's
that
you know.
that's my rating too, but for different reasons. Just because of all the Silver Age goofy shit, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 because it made me laugh my ass off.
Dude, some of these ads in here are like crazy. Like that
We
that's another
need
thing.
we need to do a whole podcast episode, whether it be for your podcast or my podcast, or I guess our podcast, or like Tismo Talks,
Hmm.
of just weird ass comic book ads.
That would be fun. I'm down for that. Oh, look,
Yeah.
this is another one. See the many fantastic faces of Superman, and one of them it looks like Alfred E. Newman. It's called the Goofy. Hold on, yeah, there it is. It's like the Goofy Superman.
Hey, what the hell?
I don't
It's the
know, man.
weirdest comic book ad I have ever seen. What the hell kind of crack were they doing when they wrote Silver Age comics? And can I buy some?
Seriously, like this makes me want to read more because I think I've read the first issue of the original Flash stuff.
I think I have too.
That's where the whole and we're about to wrap it up here, guys, but that's where the whole hot dog thing comes from. So like in the Zack Snyder Justice League, where there's that worrisome moment, like I was just like, I get what he's doing, but like the CW show did it better, where like, stuff
Yeah.
was just falling off of things in the coffee shop. Like you didn't have to have that
Yeah.
one weird scene where you have like that that hot dog like flying around in the air.
Also kind of made it seem like in the Snyder cut that Barry was just stalking Iris.
It was so creepy. Like he like touched her face. I'm like, bro, you do not know her. Like, get away from her. Like,
Nah, bro.
save her and leave.
Hey, save your Snyder cut hot takes for the BVS episode, damn it.
Oh yeah, just wait, guys. But yeah, like this was definitely fun. There's I get why now. Well, I've always kind of got this, but why Stan Lee's stuff was so like popular and revolutionary. This was definitely like one of those books where it was very much just like plot with like not a lot of character, basically. Like
Yeah.
you had like slivers of it.
It's like your stereotypical Silver Age comic.
But definitely a fun read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would advise you guys. I picked this up for 3.99 at
As you can see in the corner.
yeah, yeah, at the comic shop. So like if you guys want to like especially like with older stuff, like get that just for like the whole experience of it. This definitely enhanced my experience. If I had read it on the app, I would still enjoy it, but it's one of these things like actually physically holding this in my hand and seeing some of these like bizarre ads and stuff like that
Yeah.
definitely took me back. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe next time I go to my local comic store, I'll look for a physical copy of it.
Yeah. But so if you want to go ahead and give your plugs and then I'll give my plugs and then we'll get out of here.
All right, for sure. So for those of you who are frequent listeners, you know this, but for new listeners, you can find me on my other YouTube channel. Just recently renamed it to Zerd Games. That's ZURDD Games. I play video games, whether they be comic related or not, but I play video games. I talk over them. I love doing that. That's my main squeeze right now. You can subscribe to the Chaku Milk channel, which is currently the home of the Tismo Talks video podcast. You can also follow that podcast, Tismo Talks, a comic book podcast, on Spotify. Um, don't follow the social media accounts for that. I don't fucking use them. And then you can catch me on the Minnow Bricks YouTube channel as the voice of the Robins in the Lego Batman Adventures series as well. I played Spider-Man recently on that,
Nice.
so that was fun. Um, and then you can catch me whenever it releases a fan cartoon based on Mainframe Entertainment's Unmade Spider-Man concept before the MTV show came out. It's going to be called You're My Hero Spider-Man. I'm the voice of Harry Osborn. And
Nice.
couple of other secret projects that I can't talk about yet. Um, so yeah, that's where you can find me.
Nice. And so, you guys obviously know you can find me and Brady here on Flashbacks, a Flash Rewatch podcast, where we review
Yep.
every episode of The Flash. Also, coming up pretty soon, Night of the Batman that I recently recorded a new episode where we went over the script for my web series, my Batman fan film series. It
Oh,
was it wasn't like I will go ahead, I'm not like downplaying or anything. It wasn't as cringy as I thought it was. It's very brief. The definitely the video thing, we're gonna save that for the 100th episode. And that
oh,
one, I play Alfred, I play like
the
Harvey
classic,
Dent, I play
the
Rupert
classic.
Thorne, like I play like a few.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like I had a very limited cast, so I had to do the best
Yeah.
with what I got. But
Yeah,
I
so
also
did
play
I
a woman
for
in that. I play the
oh
the mom
God.
off screen. It's one of those things where I think I
Okay.
do like a no actually, I just react to I react to the character, but you don't hear the character actually speak. Like it's one of those
Oh,
things. I was in high school. I didn't,
yeah. You've
that
seen my Spider-Man fan film I made in high school, bro. Like,
yours
oh
was
my
better than my
God.
stuff, man. You've seen my stuff too, but um.
I would debate that.
But yeah, so you guys got that to look forward to. I have the tangential
You want to promote
exchange.
the other Night of the Batman thing we're doing?
Oh yeah, we have we're gonna be doing the BVS with Ben coming up here pretty
Yep.
soon.
And it will be the first ever time in internet history that the internet gets to hear/see me drinking. Because there's no way in fuck I'm watching BVS as a sober individual. That's not happening. I don't want to remember watching that movie.
I hear you. But yeah, and then we have, speaking of drinking, we had the tangential exchange where me and my best friend Trip drink and make each other laugh. We might record a new one soon. We've been kind of developing a short film kind of off to the side. I'm not going to get too in depth on here because like it's one of those things where you don't know what's going to happen, but we still plan to do that
Yeah.
once I'm done with my novel, which I need to get back to. I'm actually at the tail end of the first draft, so once I get those next
Oh,
few out,
nice.
then it should be pretty close, and then there's just like getting it published.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. He's actually doing the cover for it. He's going to draw it, which will be
Oh,
really
cool.
cool. Yeah. So and then we have What Mean. That will eventually come back. It's just as you guys see, I'm very busy. I have a lot of different podcasts, so that will come back like as like all the episodes because I want to have like a permanent home for it where you guys can see from beginning up until a certain point. It's not dead, it's just like on a hiatus right now. And yeah, so that's it on my end. So
Think of it as between Young Justice season 2 and 3. The show's not entirely dead. It will be back. We
it's
just
on
don't know
life
when.
support.
Yeah, and on a different platform.
Exactly. So you want to try the our
We can
outro?
try. I don't know how laggy my internet is on your end, but we can sure as hell try.
You're coming through pretty good now.
All right,
All right.
cool.
Three, two,
Two,
one.
one.
We
We
will
will
see
see
you
you in
in
the
the
Speed
Speed
Force.
Force.